Then come to the commencement of business. A private company can commence its business soon after obtaining the certificate of incorporation, but that is not in the case of public company. Public company has to obtain a certificate of commencement of business to start its business. So a certificate of incorporation as well as certificate of commencement has to be obtained by public limited company, but that is not in the case of private limited company. Private limited company can easily start its business after obtaining certificate of incorporation. Then directors of a company. Public company must have at least 3 directors, whereas private company must have at least 2 directors. That is 3 directors in the case of public company, 2 directors in the case of private company. And directors of a public company must file with the registrar with written consent to act as a director. That I'm giving my consent to act as an executive director of the company. I'm giving my consent to act as a non-executive director of the company, as independent director of the company, as non-independent directors of the companies. You have to give in your consent in writing and file a copy of it signed by you, stamp of the company, submit a copy of it to ROC of the company. Because at least 1/3 of directors must be independent by nature. In case of public limited company, means out of 3 directors, 1 must be independent and 2 is dependent. And in case of private company, at least 2 directors is required. So that is a privilege available to private company. 2 directors. Private company can have 2 directors, but public company must at least 3 directors. Then statutory meeting is there. You have to conduct statutory meeting, hold statutory meeting in case of public company and file a statutory report with the ROC of the company. But that is not in the case of private company. It is not required to hold statutory meeting after incorporation, and not a statutory report has to file statutory report with the ROC. That is not in the case of private company, but that is in the case of public company. It is mandatory. You can say it is mandatory to hold statutory meeting, file statutory report with the ROC, but that is not mandatory in the case of private company to hold a statutory meeting and to file statutory report. Quorum in the case of public company, there must be at least 5 members personally present for holding the company meeting, but in a private company this number is 2. This number is 2. These 2 members must be present in a meeting to hold a meeting, but that is not in the case of public company. Public company, at least 5 members personally present for holding the company, excluding proxies, personally present for taking the decision of the company, and this number is 2. That is quorum is the minimum number of quorum means the minimum number of members to be present in person in a meeting. That defines a quorum, and it is 2 in the case of private company and 5 in the case of public.